Now, before we begin, I just want to read you this. And this is actually a message that I sent to one of my friends who is within the group. And this was January the 1st last year, 2020. So this class is about intuition, and I've been trying to work with my intuition for quite a long time now. A lot of the yoga stuff really works with intuition. Obviously, chanting works with intuition. We're going to be doing Om today. So just listen to this. I'm going to bleep out the swearing. This is what I sent to a friend and then phoned as well on January the 1st last year. I really don't want January to come. I've got a bad feeling about 2020. I've felt it a while. I've been awake nearly all night. I can only describe it as an impending sense of doom. My leaping instincts are back on the ball. What the F is going on? Are your spider senses telling you anything, or is it just me? When we were coming into 2020, I cannot begin to tell you what I was sensing. And I remember having conversations with a couple of people, and it wasn't like, I don't think this is me. I don't even think this is family. There's something really, really, really big. And I even got to the point where I was looking to see if psychic people were saying it, and nobody seemed to be saying anything. Now that I'm in tune with more of the people, that I'm seeing that they've been talking about this for years. But people have been sensing what was coming last year. And your intuition, obviously it's the third eye. So we're going to be doing things to do with the third eye today. And it's like the bridge between you being grounded in your spirituality. It's like higher dimensions, and you can tap into that. And there are different people sense their intuition in different ways. So you can get it from gut feelings, you can get it from sour taste in the mouth, you can get it from goosebumps. We've all experienced that kind of thing, haven't we? And there's different clairs. So you've probably heard of clairvoyance, there's clairsentience, there's clairaudience, there's claircognizance. And these are where I'm not saying if you start hearing voices to go follow the voices, that's not what I'm saying, but that's clairaudience. So your intuition is we've all got it. It's just that we don't always get the opportunity to actually tap into it. And so today, when we're going to be doing poses today, we're going to be working on the third eye, because that's the one that actually is going to start opening up that ability to be able to sense. And it's like it works with your pituitary and your pineal gland. And your pineal gland, which they thought it doesn't do much in humans, it actually does. It's almost like your receiver from whatever's coming from the outside world. And it's to do with a place called the Cave of Brahma, which is inside the head. That's what the ancient Indian called it. It's in medical terms, it's got a different name. And it's like almost like signals are coming between the pineal and the pituitary gland, which then of course controls all of the endocrine system in the body. So what we really need to do is to begin to learn to honor our intuition. So I'm going to give you some tips in how to honor your intuition. And if we don't honor our intuition and listen to certainly signals that our body is sending us, that's when we can allow things to manifest, and then we can become ill. And I'm certainly, I'm quite in tune with when my body is playing up and when something's not right. And then I have to work on trying to almost push it out. So we're going to begin with alternate nostril breathing, because it's a really nice one just to tap in. And before we begin, I just want you to imagine that you've got your, the image for the Ajna chakra is a lotus flower with two lotus petals either side of that. And they represent the Ida and the Pingala, which is the two energy channels to do with the left and the right, to do with the male and female, light and dark, negative, positive energy in the body. So you're just going to bring that hand. So it's almost like we're trying to balance the two out to clear everything. You're going to bring your hand in front of your face. If you're congested, just imagine that you're doing this. And right thumb closes the right side, ring finger and little finger closes the other side. So just take a deep breath in. And exhale fully through the mouth with a sigh. So you can hold the elbow on if you want. Of course, if you're congested, just put your hands down. You're just going to imagine that you're doing that. And all I want you to do is just to take a few deep breaths in and out, allowing yourself just to take a moment before we start coming into our breathing. And begin to close off the right nostril. And you're going to breathe in through the left nostril only. Close that off, release the right. Breathe out through the right nostril only. Breathe in through the right nostril. Close it. Breathe out through the left nostril only. Breathe in through the left nostril only. Close it. Breathe out through the right nostril only. Breathe in through the right nostril only. Close it. Breathe out through the left nostril only. Breathe in through the left nostril only. Close it. Breathe out through the right nostril only. Breathe back in through the right nostril only. Close it. Breathe out through the left nostril only. I want you to just carry on now in your own time. In left, out right, back in right, out left. And imagine, if you can, as you're doing this, that lotus flower that's in the center of the eyebrows. And imagine, maybe as you breathe in the left, you can imagine the left side petal is lighting up. And when you're breathing in through the right, you can imagine that the right side petal is lighting up. Ajna means servant or command. And it is where these two energies of the Ida and the Pingala channels, the channels of energy, it's where they meet at the Ajna chakra. So it is your seat of wisdom, your seat of knowledge. It's your knowing, it's your seeing. When it's open, you are very clear in your understanding and your wisdom. When it's closed, you can be very close-minded. You can be quite ignorant. You can certainly not sense things. You will not be able to pick up your intuition at all. The power of the Ajna allows us to step beyond the mind, and it allows us to let go of the desires and the longings and of the 3D world in which we live, and enter a higher realm of knowledge and wisdom. Now, as you come now to breathing in on the left, on the next breath on the Ida, you're going to let this be your last round, breathing in through the left side. Out through right. In through the right. And out through the left. And then very gently, just let the hands go back down if you've been using your hands. Just take a deep breath in through both nostrils now. Pause for a moment at the top of the breath and just allow yourself to sigh fully through the mouth. And just do that 2 more times, breathing in through both nostrils. Pause at the top of the breath. And sighing out through the mouth. And then last time. And then sighing out through the mouth. And then when you're ready, open your eyes, give your legs and give everything a little bit of a stretch. Maybe you need to wriggle your ankles, wriggle your wrists. So we're going to be coming into some gentle poses. We're going to begin on our backs. We're going to come into Maltese cross just to warm up. So start to take yourself onto your back. I want you to bring the soles of the feet onto the floor and just let the head rest. Bring the feet so they are about hips width apart, and you're going to start to draw that right knee in towards you. Just hug for a moment that right knee in towards you, and keep that left foot on the floor. Before we come into the Maltese cross, I just want you to gently turn your head from left to right, just to release any tension that you might have in your head or in your shoulders after having been sat for a few minutes doing your alternate nostril breathing. Then slowly begin to straighten the right leg up towards sitting. Of course, if you've got tight hamstrings, keep the leg bent. That's absolutely fine. Interlace the fingers behind there. And then just gently breathe in as you point the toe and exhale as you push the heel away. So you're just taking that in your own time. If, of course, you're very flexible, straighten that left leg out, that's up to you. But I'm not telling you have to at all. So breathing in as you point the toe and exhaling as you push the heel away. So there are very powerful things that you can do to strengthen your intuition that are yoga-based things, one of which we've just been doing, which is the alternate nostril breathing. They say for the best benefits of that, you really need to be doing that about 10 minutes. And gently begin to draw that right knee back in towards you. Place the right hand to the inside of that right knee and straightening the right arm. Just drop that right knee out as you straighten the left leg and push the heel away. Left hand on the left hip. Let the head relax again, just opening into that right hip. We will be doing pigeon. So anybody who's not good with pigeon, I'm going to give you the option to do the eye of the needle pose instead, which is the one where you lie on the floor, put the foot onto the bent knee and just push the hip away. So one of the other ways in which that you can really access your intuition and strengthen your third eye is from what is called Omkar. And Omkar is basically the chanting of Om. Gently bring that right knee back in towards you. You're going to swap the hands. Left hand is going to go to the outside of that right thigh. Tuck the fingers under if you can reach. Extend the right arm out and then gently just ease that right leg over towards the right hand side. So the left hand side. Now, technically speaking, certainly when I was in India, there's a certain way of chanting Om, and I am going to teach us after we've done the poses. For me, it's quite a strong one to do. So you'll see it's quite difficult because it means you have to have a very long exhalation in order to be able to do it, because it has to take 10 seconds. We'll slowly ease your way back to the center, and this time bring both knees in. Just for a moment, interlace the fingers, squeeze both thighs in, a little bit of a rock from side to side before we come on the other side. And then place that right foot back down. Again, you're just going to hug that left knee in for a moment as we release the neck. Turn the head slightly to the right. Shoulders are away from the ears. Turn the head slightly to the left. Just a gentle rock from side to side with the neck. So the sound of Om is actually, well, most of us know, don't we, that it's like the sound of the universe. I like to think of it as birth, life, and death. In Indian mythology, it's Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. Brahma is about birth. Vishnu is about preservation, about life, and Shiva is about death and renewal and being reborn. Begin to extend that left leg up towards the ceiling. Again, you're going to interlace the fingers behind the thigh. Breathe in to point the toe. Exhale to push the heel away. Taking that gently as you pull that in. Don't go mad with it. Just soften and ease that in. So it's actually 3 sounds. The 3 sounds of A, U, and M. So usually we see it written as an O and an O and an M, but it's actually A, U, M. That's the correct spelling of Om. Gently breathing in as you point the toe. exhale as you push the heel away and take that leg in towards you. And then again, gently just bend that knee back in, draw the thigh in as you extend the right leg out. Get your balance, make sure that right leg's on the floor. Left hand to the inside of the left leg, extend that left knee out to the side again, just straightening that left leg, right hand onto the right thigh. Relax the head and just taking a moment there. So when you're chanting Om, the beginning, the first sound, ah, is in the head and the mouth is open as you're saying ah. Then as you come to the oo sound, the U sound, which sounds like ooh, that then the mouth begins to close, so it's like a circle shape. So you've gone ah into ooh, ow, and then finally you move into the sound of which then moves from the sound from the head into the throat, into the heart, and down into the belly. Gently bring that knee back up. You're going to swap that over, right hand to the outside of the left. Extend the left arm out if that feels okay. And again, draw that left knee over towards the right hand side. And sometimes it's easy just to chant it. I mean, it doesn't matter whether you're doing this technically speaking correctly. It's the intention, of course, that goes with the chanting of Om. And when you chant it in the more traditional way, you take the R sound for 2 seconds, you move into the oo sound for 3 seconds, and you move into the sound for 5 seconds. That sounds really easy. Believe you me, it isn't, unless you've got an extremely good set of lungs. Slowly ease your way back to the center. And I don't think even when I was in India, I could really do the whole chanting. Sometimes when we were doing it for a long time, gently just start to take those knees into big circles. So even though I'm going to do a little bit of chanting with Om with you later, I can't guarantee that I'm going to be able to do that whole 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 5 seconds, because like I say, I do struggle with it. Now, when you are ready, what I want you to do, we're going to start with 2 legs raised pose. This is a really good one for the Ajna chakra. Now you can, if you've got a bolster or a block, you can raise your bum up, but don't worry if you haven't got one, because you can do this. If you want, you can also, if you're near a sofa, you can turn around and put your feet up on the sofa. If you're near a wall, you can put the legs up the wall. I'm just going to stick a bolster underneath my bum for a moment, and then I'm just going to let those legs lift. And you can do it with the legs so they're bent. That might make it easier, especially if your bum's on the floor. Bend the knees and just let all of that nice oxygenated blood flow towards those feet. Maybe you want to make circles with the feet as well. Of course, this is really good for varicose veins if you've got varicose veins in the legs, because you are letting all that stagnant blood from the feet just release back down. So it's actually sending a lot of the energy, because the feet are raised, sending an awful lot of energy up in towards the head, and then you're allowing all of that fresh energy to go back down towards the feet. So just closing the eyes down with 2 legs raised pose for a moment, allowing yourself just to be still. So Om is very, very powerful because of the resonance, because of the vibrational energy that the sound of Om creates. And it's said that when you are creating this sound of Om, that you are bringing yourself in line with the vibrational sound of the universe. Physically, the sound energy acts on different organs and improves the capacity in the body physically. Mentally, the vibrations increase the mental stability in the mind and create a calmness, as well as creating intuition. Spiritually, the vibrations increase our spiritual energy. So Om is not just a case of sitting there and chanting something. There's a massive reason for this. It has huge power, the sound of Om. And when you chant Om, every single cell and organ in your body resonates with the sound of that and will respond to the sound of Om. Now slowly begin to release those feet back down. If you've got a block there, put the feet on the floor, lift your bum up and release that block or that bolster from underneath the body. And then I want you just to gently begin to roll over onto the side of the body. And you're going to bring yourself up towards the back of your mat. Now, as you know, I used to teach headstands. We will not be doing a headstand. But what we are going to do, which is a really good one for the top of the head, we're going to come into hare pose. Now, hare pose, so you're going to start with feet towards the back of the mat. If you are not good, if you've got any issues in the top of your head, where your fontanelle was when you were a kid or anything like that, then I'm going to suggest that you just come into child's pose. So you might want to make one potato, two potato, let the fists come into the space between the eyebrows. This is an alternative to a headstand because I don't do headstands anymore. So from here, your bum's on your heels. You're going to allow your belly just to soften down onto the thighs. From there, you're going to bring the forehead down onto the floor. I'm going to move forward so you can see me a little bit better here. And then you're just going to let yourself roll gently onto the top of the head. See how that feels. If you've got any issues in your neck, you might not like that. You may want to stay in your child's pose. Just see how that feels rolling forwards. I've just felt all the blood rush into my head straight away. Now, if you feel as if you're okay here, you can lift your feet away from the floor, engage your core. And if you wish, interlace the fingers behind the body, straighten the arms up. So this is why it's called hare pose, because the toes are your tail and the arms are your ears. But we're not going to be here for long because it is on the top of the head. If you need to come out of this, please immediately bring yourself down. Slowly release that down. Just taking a moment there in your child's pose. If you need to make one potato, two potato again, which I do, take that there just for a minute to allow yourself to ease. So you can, while we're doing these poses, if you wish, I thought it'd be nice while you're doing the poses, if you want in your mind, you don't have to do this in your out loud. You can have a go with the out breath of chanting Om. Very carefully, you're going to bring yourself back up. And I want you to come up onto your hands and knees. So in order to do that, you can do it in your mind, but you can be making the mouth exercises. The mouth you can make the sounds with the mouth without actually making the sounds. So ah, the mouth would be open, ah. Ooh, you're going to make the circle with the mouth, and then you're going to close the lips. So as you exhale, when we're doing these poses, you can, if you wish, do that. So just gently start to drop the waist down. Take a breath in as you come into your cat pose. And exhale gently into your stretch across the back. So you're going to do that just 2 more times. So when we come into some of these poses, if you want to have a go at chanting Om in your head, you can do. So it's the ah first, into the ooh, into the the mouth open, then into a circular, then into lips closed. So one more time, breathing in. And then exhale into your cat stretch. So I'm going to move now into pigeon pose. Widen the hands so they're going towards the sides of the mat. And you're going to slide the right knee towards the right hand. Remember I said earlier that if you're not good with this, there are options. You can roll over onto the side and you can take it a little bit easier. It is an easier version of pigeon pose. Or you can go on your back and you can put the right foot on the left knee and push the right thigh away. You're okay in pigeon, slide the right foot over towards the side. Find where it feels right for you here. Can you go onto the elbows? Is that too much? Can you flatten your body out? Maybe you're okay taking that quite deeply. Find out what's right for you. My body is never like pigeon. So I'm taking it nice and gently, and then again, close the eyes down. And find that position that is right for you. And again, if you're on your back, right ankle on top of the bent left knee, the foot's on the floor, right hand to the inside of that right thigh, and just push that thigh away. So you're doing a much gentler version there. So as I said, I was going to give you tips for strengthening your intuition. The first is to recognize it. Now, as I said last night, my intuition told me not to get on the train. I decided, don't be so ridiculous, Edwina. Getting on a train can't be that hard. And what should have been a 10-minute journey turned into over an hour. So my intuition told me to listen to the hunch that I was getting, to the gut instinct that I was getting. And I didn't take a blind bit of notice of it because I decided that Northern Rail was perfectly capable of being able to put a driver in a train. Clearly not. So that's the first of the tips, is to recognize it. Recognize when your intuition, and sometimes it's quite difficult, I know, to understand whether that's intuition that's speaking to you or whether it's fear, because they can get very, very mixed up quite easily. You deep breath in and slowly begin to bring those hands back. You're going to release that knee, and that's why you need to learn to use the intuition and learn to work with it, and chanting, all of these things are going to actually help to work the intuition. So just gentle circles with that right knee before we come up to the other side. When you do work on if you do yoga, if you do chanting, if you do meditation, certainly helps to strengthen the intuition. Begin to slide the left knee forwards towards the left hand. Again, adjust yourself. If you need to do the easier version, roll onto that left hip and then just gently folding forwards, or even keeping yourself a little bit higher if that's where you need to be. If you're on your back, you're going to swap to the other side. So the left foot's going to go on top of the right knee. You're going to push the right thigh away. If you're in your pigeon, slide that left foot over towards the right hip. And then again, find the position that is right for you. So as I've just said, if you are hoping to recognize it, and it's anxiety and fear can certainly block your intuition and can disguise itself as intuition as well. Which is why if you meditate, 10 minutes daily of meditation will begin to open the third eye and will allow you to begin to tap in more into your intuition. And of course, chanting of Om, with it being such a powerful one, if you want to keep it simple, chanting Om is one of the best ways to strengthen the intuition. Of course, those 3 sounds, maybe you want to do them now. You take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, it's the ah, ooh, mm. And if you research this, you will find that there's a certain tone, a certain sound that is the best to use. I can't remember what it is. And of course, you have to have pretty perfect pitch in order to be able to do that, unless you've got a piano to hand to play the note for you. So try not to get caught up or hung up on whether it's got to be the right sound or not. Each exhalation, sound of ah, ooh, mm. Take deep breath in and exhale, gently begin to bring yourself back up there. Again, just release that left knee, and you're just going to come into gentle circles with that left knee. Make sure that that hip feels all right after coming into those poses. Now slowly ease yourself back up onto your hands and onto your knees. So I want you to begin to get hold of the back of the right thigh. You're going to step that right foot forwards as you just start to Check that that feels rooted there. So we are going to come into a lunge twist here. If you've got any issues coming into, that's why we're woken up our hips with our pigeon pose, but you can do a seated one if you want. If you don't want to come into a lunge, please just come into a seated one. Left hand is going to come down onto the floor. Right hand is going to come onto the knee, and you're just going to take a breath and gently start to turn and twist towards the right hand side. Those of you who want to really wake yourself up, even though it's a Sunday morning, you must be mad if you want to do that. Joking. Of course, you can tuck the toe under at the back, lift that knee up and extend that right arm up towards the ceiling. Or if you want to take it deeper in a different way, you can bring the back of that right hand round towards the back or to the left waist and a gentle turn towards that right knee. Again, gentle breaths with the body. Check both hips are still facing down, that you've not tilted the pelvis around too much. It might put too much pressure on that back knee. Gentle breaths. So the next thing that you really do need to do if you want to develop your intuition is to spend time on it, dedicate time to it. It's not going to suddenly be a light bulb that's going to turn on. You need to devote time to it. As we know, that's like anything, self-study. That was said by Patanjali in the Yoga Sutras. Gently begin to bring that leg back. Take a breath and just exhale. Soften the hips back down onto the heels. Just rest the hands for a moment and taking a moment there. So we all know that, don't we? That if you really want to strengthen anything, if you really want to be able to use something well, you have to dedicate time to it. You have to practice. If you don't practice, you are all of these incredible piano players, concerto players, all of these people who are these amazing athletes, they have dedicated time to it. So even 10 minutes a day. And then when you are ready, bring yourself back up. Take a hand to the back of that left thigh, step that left foot forwards, and again, gently finding your pose there. Right hand to the floor, left hand onto that left thigh. Take that as far as is comfortable for you, closing the eyes down. So it's time to sit with it, to look inside, to take the time with it. And then this is where the next of the tips, I love this one because this is the one that I tend to do by using tarot cards, and I've found a lovely spread recently called Divining Myself, that when I did it the other day, I was like, wow, it told me what I already knew. It didn't tell me anything new about myself. Remember, you can extend the arm if you want, lift up the back leg, or bring that hand right way over. The next of the strengthening to the intuition is to ask questions. Pose questions to your intuition. Write the questions down. What is it that you actually want to know? Deep breath in. Slowly release that down. Let that left foot go, and again, gentle circles with the knee. And then when you're ready, you're going to bring yourself now into a comfortable seated position. So you can, if you want, of course, you can sit cross-legged if that's not comfortable for you. You come up onto your knees. You can sit on the knees, but please make sure that whichever position that you're in feels all right. You can do this if you want with one leg straight. We are going to be coming into a cow face pose, so you can do this. I'm going to give you the option to do it cross-legged or with the pose where we actually do it with the legs as well. So if you want to do cow face pose with the legs crossed, you're going to have the right ankle in front first, then you're going to swap to the other side. But if you want to come into the full pose, check that you are feeling upright here. You're going to extend that left leg out so the toes are pointing towards the ceiling. You're going to bring that right knee over the top of that left leg. If that is not good for you, which it isn't for me, to be honest with you, so I'm going to go back into cross-legged, then instead come back into your cross-legged pose. So just for a moment, you're just going to relax the shoulders away from the ears and put the hands on the knee or in the lap, depending on how you're sitting. And I want you to begin to raise the right arm up towards the ceiling. Just for the moment, put the right hand on the top of the head, because we are all different when it comes to cow face pose. And you may find this is where you need to be. Maybe you can bring it towards the space and the shoulder blades, between the shoulder blades. See how that feels. With the left hand, you're going to begin to bring the left hand so the back of the hand is on the middle of the back. Now, maybe this is where you want to stay, maybe even with the hand on the top of the head. But if you can, you're going to walk that left hand up the back, and maybe you can catch hold of the fingertips. Of course, if you've got a scarf or anything, you can always use a scarf to hold the hands at the back. If you can't reach, you just use a scarf between the two hands. Then close the eyes down, keeping that heart lifted. The chin is level with the floor. If you've got any issues in your arms at all, then I suggest that you keep that nice and gentle. You can even put one hand on the shoulder instead of lifting it all the way up towards the head. So keep it really nice and gentle there. So if you've asked your intuition questions, then you need to know what the answers are, don't you? So basically, if you've asked questions and you sit with it and you take time with it, maybe you meditate on those questions, maybe you chant on those questions, then you're going to journal and you're going to write the answers down, and you're going to write them down quite quickly when they come to you. They say that a message can be gone and lost in 37 seconds. Take a deep breath in and slowly exhale, release. Just take a few circles with those shoulders. So if you're going to write these questions down, I mean, obviously I've been using tarot cards, so I find that a really easy way. For me, that's how I get my answers. I also do divining, so that's how I get my answers as well. That's, you know, when you use a crystal. But if you just want to use simple chanting, meditation, and you write down a question, dedicate time to do this. And you would sit down, you would get your piece of paper, you would write the question, you would meditate on it, you would just let yourself sit with that question. Then if something comes, you're already there. You don't, the intuition might come later on. If it does come later on, you can always pop it into your phone. You've got a piece of paper or a pen handy, you can even write it on your palm of your hand. But you would jot it down, that spark of intuition, you would need to get it down, and you would need to get it down quickly. Begin to lift that hand up, and again, left hand to the top of the head or in towards the space between the shoulder blades. And then again, find what feels right for you there. Or does it need to be on the shoulder? Does it need to be an easier version here? Find what is right for you. And again, taking that right hand up the back. Maybe you can reach the fingertips, maybe you can't. And I forgot to tell you to swap the legs around. So if the legs, straight leg with the right leg, left knee over the top. Sorry, because I haven't done it, I forgot to do it myself. So if your leg was straight, straighten out the right leg, extend that left knee over the top. I knew I should have, I can't do it because it hurts my legs. That's why I'm not doing it. And of course, if you're cross-legged, just swapping the left leg in front of the right. Find that position that is right for you. Straight away, my left shoulder saying I doesn't even like that. So I'm bringing my left hand on to my left shoulder, and I'm keeping in the easy version. So your body can also be a massive little message sender. It's like Gabriel, Archangel Gabriel. It's like your little message, your little receiver. So sometimes when your body is sending you signals, it is your intuition as well, but your intuition can use your physical body to tell you when something isn't right. Goosebumps, the gut instinct, physical pain will tell you if something's not right. Take a deep breath in. And exhale gently. And when you're ready, you're going to begin to straighten those legs out. and then stretch. So we're going to come now into our final pose because we've got the chanting as well as meditation to do. So begin to extend the legs out and shuffle yourself forwards a moment. We're going to come into Janusarasana. So I want you just to take the right leg slightly towards the side of the mat. And you're going to bring that left foot to the inside of that right thigh. Now, if that does not suit you, which it doesn't me, take it the other way around, but don't have the inside of the foot flat to the floor. Tuck the toe around so it's the top of the foot that's on the floor, because you can hurt your knee, you can damage your knee if you let that foot stick out to the side like that. So choose what is right for you. And I just want you to turn slightly now towards that right leg. Relax into the shoulders. You're going to take a deep breath in, and then you're going to slowly just extend that body there over that leg. Gentle breaths with first part of our final pose. So of course, if you've written these questions down, and if you've written down the answers that came to you, the things that came into your head, and of course, these are things that whatever it is that comes to you, no harm must come with that. And so if it's something, an intuition that's coming to you to cause harm to somebody else, then that's not a good thing. That's not your intuition, that's your fear and your anxiety and possibly your ego. So the next of the things is that you take action on it. You take action on what it is that has come to you. Take a deep breath in and exhale, gently ease your way back to the center. And I want you now just to begin to twist towards that bent knee. So the left hand's going to come behind you, and if you can reach, the right hand can come to the left knee, or it can just come to the center of the leg. So take a deep breath in and exhale to gently twist. That extended toe is still facing up towards the ceiling. And again, maybe with each exhalation, you want to go back to the space between the eyebrows. With those three sounds, ah, ooh, So when you take action and you act on your intuition, it actually strengthens the channel between your consciousness and your subconsciousness. So it's quite a strong link there that you have got the ability to strengthen. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, slowly ease your way back to the center. Let those legs go and give those legs a little bit of a shake. And when you're ready, center to the mat, you're going to take that left leg slightly over towards the left hand side. And again, the right foot's going to come to the inside. Prop that knee up if you need to. If it doesn't suit you doing it that way around, if your hips are internally rotated, turn the foot the other way, but make sure that right foot is tucked underneath so it's not sticking out to the side. So find what is right for you, and then you're going to turn the body towards this left leg. So you've taken the body slightly towards the left. Take a deep breath in, and again, gently as you exhale, just mindful of how far the body's allowing you there. From the shoulders away from the ears, keep the chest open straight away. My right side of my body's just said no, so I'm saying nice and high here. Shoulders are relaxed. And again, if you wish, going back to those sounds. And it is actually when you're not using the sound out loud and you're doing it in the head, you can do it silently, completely silently. You can do it by using the mouth movements. So it's almost like a whisper. You can also do it out loud. It's 3 different ways in which you can do a chant, and they're all as powerful as each other. But obviously, if you're making the actual vibrational sound, then you will sense it more because you will hear that sound yourself. But when you're doing it silently or you're almost doing it in a whisper, it's actually easier then to do the 2 seconds, 3 seconds, and 5 seconds. Take a deep breath in. Slowly exhale, ease your way back to the center. And you're going to again begin to twist. So the right hand's going to come behind you. Left hand either to the space between the legs or over towards that right knee if it will reach. Breathe in to lift and gently exhaling to twist. Keeping the length from the base of the spine right the way through towards the top of the head. Eyes are closed. So, last of the tips to improve and strengthen your intuition is simply to trust yourself. The more you work with your intuition, the more you focus on it, give it time and meditate, chant, spend a few minutes with it, turn off the news, turn off any kind of media, and take yourself inside. Write questions down, sit with them, see what comes. Take action. What happens is that your inner wisdom will begin to grow. And if you have goals, they will be achieved faster because you will sense things. You will pick up things quicker. Take a deep breath in and exhale, gently release that. Just for a moment, twisting in the opposite direction and then release those legs. And again, find yourself comfortable position. So we're going to have a go now at coming into Om, and I'm so sorry, I'm going to have to blow my nose in order to be able to do this. Me and chanting at the moment aren't doing particularly well together. So we traditionally, obviously at the end of class, I used to do it 3 times. So traditionally you would do it 3 times, or you would do it 11 times. When we were in India, we did it 11 times every morning. So it's nice to do it 3 times at the beginning of class, 3 times at the end of the class, or it is nice to do it 11 times. The most traditional one, of course, is to do it 108 times, and you can use mala beads to do that. So if you search on YouTube, you are bound to find somebody has put 108 chants of Om on there. It's going to be on there. There'll be absolutely loads of them, and you'll probably find one that's the right resonation as well. But we're going to have a go. We're going to have a go at this. So I'm going to do my very best to do this on 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 5 seconds. So I'm going to do the first one on my own. And then the next 2, don't worry about making it too long. You're just going to join in and you're going to do with it. So I'll do 1 on my own and then we're going to do 3. So it sounds better. So that makes more sense, doesn't it? So I'm going to have a go. So this is what it would sound like traditionally. I managed it. So the reason I used my fingers then obviously was to count the 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not going to do that now. I'm just going to do it naturally the way I used to do it when I was doing it in class. Join in if you wish. Imagine we're back in the Key Studio, and if you've never been in the Key Studio, imagine yourself in a gorgeous room. Take a deep breath in and exhale fully through the mouth with a sigh. I'm going to come into my Yana Mudra, relaxing, ready to be doing this again in next month on May the 17th when we can all go back in the gym. Take a deep breath in. In your hands into a prayer position and just let the thumbs rest for a moment in the heart center and just drop the head. So I have just got goosebumps all over my arms and I feel as if something's just pinged around me. So that is the power of the chanting of Om. You might have felt something, you might not. Do not worry. Strengthening the intuition is what brings that. And when you're ready, lie down, ready for your Shavasana. So I didn't realize quite how much I missed chanting Om, even though I couldn't hear the other people. I could certainly sense what was being sent to me. So please find a comfortable position. And I thought it would be nice to do a very traditional yoga nidra. And we are going to do the well and ocean one, which does eventually end up with you on the ocean with the sound of Om. So I will bring chanting into this at the end. So get ready for yoga nidra. Adjust your blanket, your clothes, your position so that you can practice yoga nidra without moving and with no physical discomfort. Please close your eyes and keep them closed. Give yourself a moment to become calm and steady. Take a deep breath in and feel calmness spreading throughout the whole of the body. As you're breathing out, say mentally to yourself the sound Om. Become aware of sounds in the distance. Become aware of the most distant sounds that you can hear. Let your sense of hearing operate like a radar beam, searching out distant sounds and following them for a few seconds. Move your attention from sound to sound without attempting to identify the source. Then gradually bring your attention to closer sounds. Sounds outside the building, sounds inside the building. And then develop your awareness of the room in which you are lying. Without opening your eyes, visualize the four walls, the ceiling, the floor, your body lying on the floor. See your body lying on the floor. Become aware of your existence, of your physical body lying on the floor. Total awareness of your body lying in perfect stillness. Now I want you to become aware of the natural breath, the natural and spontaneous breath. Do not try to concentrate, for this will interfere with the natural process. Keep on listening to me and know that you are breathing. Now, as I begin to move through the parts of your body, naming each part. I want you to imagine, if you can, the energy moves from point to point, simultaneously becoming aware of that part as I name it. The practice always begins with the right hand. Right hand thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, back of the hand, palm of the hand, right wrist, lower arm, elbow, upper arm, right shoulder, collarbone, right side of the chest, right side of the waist, right hip, thigh, knee, shin, calf muscle, right ankle, heel, top of the foot, sole of the foot, right big toe, second, third, fourth, fifth toe. Go to the left hand thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, back of the hand, palm of the hand, left wrist, lower arm, elbow, upper arm, left shoulder, collarbone, left side of the chest, left side of the waist, left hip, thigh, knee, shin, calf muscle, ankle, heel, sole of the foot, top of the foot, left big toe, second, third, fourth, fifth toe. Go to the top of the head, forehead, the right temple, left temple, right eyebrow, left eyebrow, right eyelid, left eyelid, right nostril, left nostril, tip of the nose, the right cheek, left cheek, upper lip, lower lip, the space between the lips, right side of the jaw, the left side of the jaw, the chin, the throat, the middle of the chest, and into the navel. Just begin now to feel the rising and the falling of the breath at the navel. As the breath rises, the navel lifts. The breath rises from navel to throat. As the breath falls, it falls from throat back down to the navel. Just allow yourself, with each rising and falling of the breath, to notice the breath, awareness of the breath. As navel rises, throat rises, throat falls, navel falls. Just allow yourself to rest with the breath, the gentle, spontaneous rising and falling of your natural breath. I want you to imagine yourself walking along a deserted road on a hot day. Beside the road is a high wall, and in the wall is a small door. You go through that door and discover inside a garden. birds singing, beautiful flowers, cool shady trees. For a few moments you walk around exploring the garden. Beautiful trees that surround this garden. And you come to a well with butterflies dancing around the top. You look down inside the well. It is very deep, a cylindrical tunnel boring into utter darkness. You know this is a safe space. You know in that darkness there is light. There is a spiral stairway that twists around the walls. And you begin walking down, down and down. In the walls there are polished stones, yellow and white marbles, emerald green. You look up and see the circle of light at the top of the well. As you move further and further down, you are soon completely surrounded by darkness. You are feeling your way along the walls. The walls are damp and mossy, but you know that you are safe, for you are moving towards the light. And you see below, a dim light begins to emerge. You move further down and down and down as the light grows stronger. Finally, you reach the bottom and you can see through a tunnel. There is a bright, blazing light. You run through the tunnel and come out onto a golden beach. A golden beach on the shore of an infinite ocean of peace, wisdom, and bliss. You move to the edge of the water. You feel the tiny waves lapping and running over your feet. On the water there is a large white lotus flower, gently being rocked by the waves. And on the lotus flower there is a baby lying peacefully, blissfully, and that baby is you. Feel yourself as that baby in the center of the perfect white lotus flower, safely cushioned, being rocked gently on the waters of the infinite ocean. Experience yourself as a baby rocking in the arms of a lotus flower on the infinite ocean of peace and bliss. You hear the sound of Om resonating through the whole of the ocean. Gently allow your visualization to begin to fade. Let the lotus flower, let the ocean fall away, and feel again now that you are safe on your yoga mat. Feel the connection of your physical body to your mat. And just take a moment before you begin to move. Your intuition. We know, don't we, that animals use their intuition, they use their pineal gland. They have a sixth sense. They know, even if they can't see it, that there might be a lion stalking, ready to pounce. And we see birds flocking in those great flocks, and they all move intuitively with each other. We have the ability to use our intuition, but it takes self-study, and it takes work, and it takes trust. So use Omkar, use gazing into a candle, use these different things. EFT is another excellent way to literally tap into your intuition. When you're ready, begin to draw the knees into your body and rock from side to side. And when you are ready, bring yourself up into a comfortable seated position. Bring your hands into a prayer position at the heart and just slightly drop your head. So if you really do want to work with it, then dedicating time. The best ways to increase your intuition capacity is chanting Om. The Tratak, which is the candle gazing, the EFT works brilliantly, the tapping, and of course pranayama. And simply meditation, sitting with it. Write your questions down, see what comes to you. If a flash of inspiration comes to you, that's usually a message, write it down. Dreams, of course. Maybe keep something by the bed, and if something comes to you in a dream, write it down. Use your phone, use the notes in the phone. But don't forget, it can go very quickly, so you have to work on it. And namaste, everybody. And I hope your intuition works.